Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So a video that I have today, my hair. So a video that I have today is definitely from the description, as you guys can see. It's how I got my house, and this is a video that I've been wanting to do because when I first got my house, I got asked all the time, how did you get your house? What did you do? And I definitely was like, why not do a video for those out there that are trying to get a house? So I'm definitely gonna go into exactly what I did, try to do it as brief as possible. I definitely had the privilege of working at a bank for 3 years. And it was amazing, and it was definitely so helpful because it definitely helped, and having people and resources that got a lot of my questions answered. So that was super helpful for me. Now, you don't have to work at a bank in order to get a house. You could be doing anything and you can also achieve it. Now, number one, big thing is savings. Savings, you guys. Savings is probably the biggest thing. I had the privilege of being able to live with my parents, so I was able to save. Now, by any means, this does not mean that my parents were just like, here you go, girl. Woo! Here's the money. Like, no, I did not get an iPhone until I met my boyfriend, and me and my boyfriend have been together for 4 years. So I had a flip phone, and that's all I got. My parents were like, if you want an iPhone 7 Plus, girl, you better work. They didn't tell me to work, but they said you better do something. So savings is huge. I was able to have the privilege of living with my parents, so every paycheck I did, I saved that. It was like, oh my gosh, this is going to something that I am definitely going to be investing in. The home that I'm in today, it is a new build, and it was an investment for me. This is not a house that I plan on living forever, but it's definitely a beautiful home to start. I did think about going into an apartment, but that just wasn't the case for me. I wanted to go into a house, and the new build and a new home just sounded where I needed to be. You know, it just sounded like, yes, that's where I want to be. So savings is huge. I saved quite a bit of money on top of that just to make sure that I was Gucci. Like, I wanted to make sure I was good. So savings is one huge aspect. Number two is going to be credit. That's probably the biggest thing. That should have been probably number one, but start with savings because not a lot of people can start right off with credit, especially if you're young. So number two is credit. Now for me, I am a DACA recipient, so this was a little bit more harder for me. Now if you're not a DACA recipient, it was probably easy. It's probably going to be a little bit easier for you just because you can get a college credit card now. Those are available at banks and other things. But for me, being a DACA recipient, credit was huge and really hard for me. Now, I'm speaking for my DACA recipients. Credit was hard for me just because of, I don't know, I wasn't approved for anything, and I worked at a bank, so at the time I was a teller, and I was like, I want to see what's up with credit. And so I applied for a secure credit card, and that didn't work. A secure credit card is basically money you put into the card, and basically you use it after that, and you just go on from there. So I wasn't even approved for that. I probably got denied 3 times. I was trying to just get some type of credit card. So after that, I got really discouraged with the credit card. So I was just kind of like I don't know what to do anymore. So my boyfriend does own a furniture store. Thankfully, I'm so grateful because he had a lot of credit companies that he worked with. And so I ended up getting a dresser with a mirror, and I ended up putting that on credit, and I ended up paying it in the time that I was supposed to. And after that, I was like, well, hopefully it shows in my credit. My boyfriend was like, I'm pretty sure it will, girlfriend. And I was like, okay. So I ended up after that I ended up receiving a Capital One pre-approved credit card or something like that. Yeah, it was a Capital One, and I was kind of like, oh, like, I've been applying everywhere. Honestly, I got denied everywhere. I got denied at TJ Maxx, I got denied at Victoria's Secret, I got denied at Chase, I got denied at Bank of America, I got denied at Wells Fargo. So I was like, oh my goodness, like, this is not gonna work. But I don't know why, like, I had like this little feeling inside. I was like, just go try it, girlfriend. It just might work. So I ended up getting on my MacBook, and I was like, let's see what's good. And I ended up getting approved for $500, and that was probably like I don't know why, but I was like, oh my god, this is so amazing. And my mom, I like went screaming into the living room, and I was like, Mom, I got approved for a credit card. She's like, I knew you'd get approved, don't worry. And I was just like, but after being denied everywhere, Mom, like, this was hard. And she was like, you got this. My mom's always been very supportive, so God bless that woman, because she never tells me I can't do nothing. And that's probably why I'm so like, I got this. After that, I got approved, and I ended up using that credit card, and I just kept using it, paying it, using it, paying it, and they ended up ranking my credit line. Like, they ended up like, and I was like, whoa, y'all are just trying to make me spend, like, stop. But anyways, after that, I ended up kind of just having that credit card for a while, and then I ended up applying again at Victoria's Secret, and then I got approved, and then I ended up applying at TJ Maxx, got approved, and I was like, woo. So I definitely recommend a total of 3 credit cards, no more than that, because that can also hurt your debt to ratio income, and it's also just good to keep it with 3 or 2. I did 3 because I was like, I need that Victoria's Secret credit card. So after that, I started to just stay at that and making my payments on time. Now, after all of this, it was around my 21st birthday. At the end of my 21st birthday, I was kind of just looking for homes. I got denied by a couple of banks. I got denied by my own bank that I was working at. I got denied by Chase. I got denied by Quicken Loans. I got denied by Bank of America. Again, I tried it bad, but I did try those banks. But after you try so many banks, like, just to, and I didn't even do an application, I just simply asked, like, hey, do you guys do this class legal status? And they were like, no, no, no. I kept getting a no by everybody, and I was just at this point kind of just super discouraged, and I was just like, it's not gonna happen for me. So I was fine. My parents were like, you'll be fine, like, you don't need to move out. My parents, honestly, they could have me there till this day. They'll probably have me there because that's how much they love me. Ding. So I ended up just kind of being very discouraged, and my boyfriend ended up having a little bit more time than I did. I was working pretty much every day. I had one day off, and my day off, who wants to go to the bank? You know what I mean? When you work at a bank, you don't want to go to the bank on your day off or kind of do that research. And I was just kind of like, my boyfriend, having that, he has his own business, has a little bit more spare time to just kind of walk out of his business and do some things. So he ended up going to other schools, and he ended up asking them about my situation, and they said, yes, like, we've done it to one person and it worked. And I was like, one person? Like, I'm pretty sure there's more people out there, come on. So that was just like my little chance of hope. Like, it was just that little like okay. So I ended up going there, and I ended up doing the application, and by this time I was also looking at houses. I did not have a real estate agent, so I was just looking on Zillow, and where I live, it's all new area, new built homes. So I was looking into the new builds, and I was going into high ranges, and I was like, whoa, this is a little pricey. So when I did my loan, I definitely wanted to be in a range where I had a payment that I could do by myself. Since this house is under my name, it was kind of like, okay, I need to make sure that I can do this by myself, because I didn't want a crazy payment. I'm not married, so I'm sorry, boo, if you're watching this, but you can bounce out, you know? So I wanted to make a payment that was reasonable for me, and that I know that I could do this whether I was alone or with him. I love you, baby. So I ended up sticking into 150, 160 range. So that's what I ended up sticking, and I did not want to go any higher. I did not need no big house. Like, I just needed a decent sized house. So I got approved for that, and I was just like, I remember the day that they called me, like 3 days after that, they called me at my work, and I don't know, I had this like gut feeling inside when my phone rang. It kind of said the caller ID at my work desk, and I had a customer, so I was like, can you excuse me, like, I really need to. She's like, fine, go ahead, girl, go answer. And good thing it was one of my really like good customers that like freaking loves me. So I answered, and she was like, oh, Brenda, I just want to tell you, you got approved. That approved, like, guys, approved, like, approved was so, like, I felt like I was like, I was living for this approved. Like, I was like, yes, like, you know, it's so good. Like, especially working at a bank, I always had to tell customers like, oh, you've been approved, you've been denied. And denied is like the worst feeling even for me, was to tell customers that. Hearing approved, guys, for me to hear like you've been approved was like, yeah, like yes. So now that I got approved, I was like super stoked. So I walked into a new build. Like I said, I did not have a real estate agent. I just walked into a new build. I did not have anyone representing me. If you do, I definitely recommend it if you do feel kind of lost of where to start, but I was just kind of like, I got this. So I walked into the new build and there was a real estate agent there, of course. She was amazing and I ended up loving it, and ended up looking at some houses that they had the keys so I can walk into and look at. Did not like any of them. I was just like, I don't like any of these. Like, and anyway, she ended up showing me a layout of one, and I don't know why, but I was like, it's that one. I like it. I'll take it. And I had not seen anything inside the home. Like, they just showed me like what I was gonna pick and like what you know, what I was gonna get. Granted this, but I was like, I visually see a house. You're kind of like, but I was like, I don't know. I was just like, I want that one. So I ended up signing the contract and of like, you know, getting the loan and stuff. And they said, well, you can go through us. And so I ended up going through their banking, even though Desert Schools had approved me. But I just wanted to have Desert Schools as a backup too. So I left Desert Schools there, and they told me, okay, well, you have this amount of days to call us back and we'll do the loan. So I ended up doing through their banking or through their loan system, whatever. And I ended up doing that. And I remember they called me and they were like, so you've been approved. And I was like, ugh. Like the second approved, guys, I was like, ugh. And this one was a little bit bittersweet because I actually had something to like purchase with, you know, like my house, you know, my house. Kind of tell me like, because I did tell them about my situation with my DACA and everything, and they were just kind of like, well, you know, they're just we don't know yet, maybe this might be kind of an issue, kind of not sounding so sure for me. And when someone doesn't sound sure for me, I was kind of like, so me being the little thinking I know it all, I don't know what kind of answer to give me then, because I want to know for sure. I have someone else that already has me approved, and I can have this house already situated. Oh, that's how I was. Like, I was sounding, maybe I didn't sound exactly like, but I was kind of just with that little like, well, if you can't do it for me, then someone else can. And even though I was like, Brenda, you think it might not happen if you're talking like that, but I just wanted to be kind of like, I was professional, of course. So I ended up that being it ended up going so smooth after that, and I cannot be any more blessed. 6 months went by. I ended up getting my house on July. I ended up passing my birthday. I ended up turning 22, and I closed on my house on my 21st. Yeah, around when I was 21, and then I turned 22, and you know, those 6 months passed by because it took a while, but I was in no rush. It gave me more 6 months to save even more money. So I walked into this house feeling very confident and very good about it. So, and holy moly, it's been the biggest blessing of my life. It's just been an experience, you know. I'm just taking it day by day, you know, leaving some dents and bruises and some love in this house, and it's just been an amazing journey. I'm super highly blessed, and when I do rent this house out, I'm probably gonna cry because it was my first baby, but I definitely love it. It's a 3-bedroom home, beautiful. For me personally, I did not want to get a big house. It's just, I wanted something, you know what I mean, like just nice, like, and that is exactly what I got. And I definitely wanted to share this for anyone that's trying to get a house out there. That's exactly how I did it, and if it definitely helped you, please let me know. And if you guys have any other questions or comments, please leave them down below. Please subscribe, and thank you guys so much for watching, and bye. It's getting there.